Yes, guys, and in this video we'll be talking about the upcoming Black Ops 3 game and asking whether the spawn system in this game will be improved compared to other titles. For years it's been a big talking point with people taking to social media sites, forums, and asking why the spawn system is so bad and why it hasn't been improved over the years. Now, I'm not claiming to know all the answers to this question, but with everyone being excited for the upcoming game, it is something that I personally hoping is going to be improved. As with the spawn system back in the Modern Warfare 2 days when I first personally started playing, it was more of a fixed spawn point. Now, these were pre-marked on the map and usually located on the outside of the map rather than the middle. Now, that is all good in the sense that most of the action takes place around the middle of the map. But comes with the problem that if you are spawned to the outside, and especially if it is in a corner, then you're prone to spawn trapping. But as we know, spawn trapping is nothing new to the series and people have been doing it for a long time, even up to Advanced Warfare. You can look on YouTube and there are lots of people teaching you how to spawn trap. Now, all this does decide on the map you're playing on, the game mode as well, but it is cheating and it really isn't fair on other people playing the game. With the Modern Warfare 2 days also, it's quite common to get killed every time you spawn, as people just knew to wait at that particular spot, control the spawns with the rest of the team, and it's just an easier nuclear ending game. But then we moved on to the Modern Warfare 3 system, and that worked by way there was a number of spawn points on the map. Now, before you hit the button to be respawned, the system would work by determining the enemy locations, the friendly locations, and if you could be seen by any of the kill streaks. It would then put all of that together, choose the best location for you, and that would be it. Now, we all know that never worked well. As many of the times you were spawned, you're hit by a Predator missile just seconds later was crazy. The system it worked by then, it was spawning at the same time as that player was then using their kill streak. So technically, at the time, it didn't know someone was going to be using that particular kill streak. But there was also still the problem in that game with the fact that players were being respawned behind you with only a certain amount of spawn points on the system. It felt that none of the other places were safe, and so it decided to put you there, which ended up being a bit of a big problem. So having random respawn points and being spawned just behind people, it wasn't working. And then obviously they came up with loads of patches trying to sort it out. Now, for me came the most controversial type of them all, and it is Ghosts. Now, with this game, the spawns, I felt like many other people did, were absolutely terrible. I mean, from what I understand, the first 5 weeks of it coming out, they tried to put all the data they had collected and try to fix the problem as the game and try and get it sorted out, but it just didn't work out. And I felt that a lot of it was down to the map sizes and the way they were laid out. As with the maps like Stonehaven, it was a massive map, and the fact that you could shoot someone, they could respawn behind you and know exactly where you are and kill you in a couple of seconds was crazy. But I felt they wanted to keep the people closer together to try and keep the pace of the game up. As we all know, with the map size, it was ridiculously stupid to have 8v8 on those size maps. So in the end, a lot of people were turning away from the game solely just for that. But then we're going to be moving on to the Black Ops series. Now, they are the saviours of Call of Duty, and with their series, it had the most predictable spawn points yet. Now, let's take Standoff map for an example, okay? So with that map, we knew that one team was spawned next to the building in one corner, and the other team was being spawned across the map in the far corner. Now, 9 times out of 10, players would be respawned at those particular points. Now, if people were looking down those sites trying to catch people being spawned there, it would then normally either respawn in the building behind or in the wall if you're on the other side just behind there out the way. But with these spawns, basically at the start of a game, people would then meet in the middle of the map, fight it out, and whoever basically won at that beginning bit, the spawns would then flip and the losers would be back over to the other side. Now, after that, the spawns can be everywhere. That's mainly to the places that I have mentioned, but there was a couple of others. Now, the reason behind this was that Treyarch team didn't want people to feel far away from the action when they had died. And they didn't want them to have to run miles to try and get back into the action. But they also didn't want you to be straight away in harm's way. Now, they worked on a 3-second rule for their system, as they felt this was right, because if it was shorter, the game would become too much fast-paced, and if it was longer, the game would then slow down. But when you have players that are literally running all over the map, like crazed men, the problem lies with being shot in the back. Because if you run into the enemy spawn, you've got a greater chance that the enemy is going to be respawned behind you. Now this can cause a cascade effect, since the probability of the enemy spawning there increases with the number of enemies in close proximity to the spawn. Now this could be one of the main reasons that you guys get shot in the back. If players are spread all over, then the computer is going to respawn you in the safest place that it thinks, but that in turn could be right in front or behind an enemy. So with the spawn system that Treyarch has used, is it really that flawed, or is it simply down to players like me and you as well? Because if players are more organised, we play together more of as a team, then that in turn will reduce any problems that will happen with the spawn system itself. But as we all know, unless you're in a clan or something like that, it's more about solo glory and getting the kills in as much as you can. So in turn, is it Treyarch's problem or our problem, or is it just a problem with Call of Duty itself? Another factor to take in at the moment is the faster movement. As like with Advanced Warfare bringing those exosuits, you can get around the map at such great speeds. With that as the problem with the spawns, we all get shot in the back sometimes, get spawned in some crazy places, but with how fast paced the game is, it causes all the problems itself. As I mentioned before, with everyone spread across the map fighting, the system has less time now than ever to try and find a safe spot for players to spawn in. Now, I know Black Ops 3 doesn't have the same exosuits in that game, but you do have dash, which is going to help you climb faster, and in certain places you're going to be able to wall run. So this game, compared to the other Black Ops titles, is going to be faster. Now, we all know that after Ghost, there's never going to be any large maps like that. So in turn, we're going to have smaller maps with faster movements, with players running all over the place on all game modes. So is the problem really going to change in any way? And if so, can it, with players being as unpredictable as the system itself? So the question is, do we as players need to learn to live with the occasional bad spawn? Or do we need to help the system to work better by having players running around everywhere and controlling those spawns better? As we all know, with the upcoming game is not going to be perfect in any way. But I must admit, with Treyarch, I do have a lot of faith in the way that they design their games. And I don't really think it's going to be anything too much to be worried about. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave that one with you. I just want you to let me know your thoughts on this topic, whether you think that Treyarch are going to get it right, and, you know, also let me know on some of your previous experience, maybe with the Black Ops series, whether you really did think it worked with their 3-second rule that they had out. But anyway, I'm going to leave that one to you. Like I say, comment section below, contact me on Twitter, it'd be absolutely fantastic. Anyway, guys, as you can see, we're just about to be closing out on this map, which is Perspex, and I gotta be honest, yeah, I'm gonna be glad to see the back end of this map, because I really don't enjoy it at all. This is one of my half better games on this one. It didn't do too bad, a bit ropey, made a few mistakes, but it's not my most favourite map in the world. But as you can see, 82 for 47, so it's not too bad. Anyway, coming up on the screen now, guys, is going to be my subscribe button. If you could please click on that, come back and check some daily videos, that would help me out. And also, guys, please hit that like button and support my channel. That would be absolutely amazing. This is going to be Nearly Last, and I'll catch you later.